You ever meet someone who just carries themselves differently? Like, they walk into a room and immediately you're like, okay, this person has their life together. They're well-mannered and floss at least twice a day. Yeah, they've got class. And here's the best part. You don't need to be born with a silver spoon in your mouth to give off that kind of energy. Class isn't about money or background. It's how you move, how you treat people, how you show up. So today we're diving into 8 powerful signs that show you were raised with real class. Or, hey, maybe just picked it up along the way. Let's get into it. 1. You make others feel comfortable and seen. This one? Huge. People with real class have this calming energy. They make you feel like you belong. Even if you've got spinach in your teeth or you're rambling about your dog's Instagram. You listen without checking your phone. You remember people's names. You ask how someone's mom is doing and you mean it. It's empathy meets presence. The world's loud and performative. So when someone makes space for others to feel safe, welcomed, seen, it stands out. It lingers. You don't interrupt. You don't dominate the room. You make people feel like they matter because they do. That doesn't mean being overly accommodating or fake smiling through discomfort. It means leading with curiosity, not judgment. If someone walks away from a conversation with you feeling more confident than when they started, that's the real flex. 2. You don't brag, but you celebrate others easily. Real class isn't loud. It doesn't need to prove itself. And if you were raised with class, you've probably mastered the fine art of not being annoying about your wins. You got a promotion? Awesome. You don't need to make 7 posts on Facebook that low-key just says, "Look at me." Instead, you let your work speak for itself. And when your friend crushes a presentation, you're the first to hype them up. It's like, you know there's enough spotlight to go around. And honestly, that's a rare trait. Being genuinely happy for other people, that's confidence, that's emotional maturity, that's class. People notice when you're that kind of person, the one who celebrates loudly for others but stays humble about their own wins. It makes people feel safe around you. Pro tip, when someone shares good news, ask questions, say you're proud of them, be the person who claps the loudest. 3. You're naturally gracious and well-mannered. Please, thank you. No worries, take your time. Simple stuff but powerful. And if you were raised with class, it's second nature. You're the type who holds the door without making a show of it, who puts the phone down when someone's talking to you, who sends a thank you text after dinner, even if it was just takeout on the couch. It's not about being perfect. It's about being aware. It's about treating people like humans, not extras in your personal movie. Real class shows up in small details, eye contact, not interrupting during conversations. These little things say, "I see you. You matter." Want to level up? Watch how you treat people when you're in a rush or annoyed. That's when true class shows up. Class isn't something you put on like an outfit. It's how you show up even when no one's watching. 4. You give without expecting anything in return. If you were raised with class, giving is just part of how you operate. Not because it's a strategy, but because it feels right. You pick up the coffee tab for a friend. You offer help when someone's moving, even though you low-key hate lifting boxes. You give compliments that aren't fishing for one back. It's not performative. It's not transactional. It's sincere. You've probably noticed people with real class aren't trying to win every interaction. They're not looking for a return on investment in their relationships. They just give. Because they can. Because it's part of who they are. And don't get me wrong, classy doesn't mean being a doormat. Boundaries matter. You can be generous and still say no. But that sense of giving without agenda, that's a direct deposit from how you were raised. Want to flex this muscle? Try offering help or kindness anonymously. There's power in generosity that no one sees. 5. You dress with care, not for attention. Look, you don't need a stylist or a Pinterest board with 12K pins. But if you were raised with class, you probably learned early on how you show up matters. You don't dress to impress, you dress to express. You're clean, intentional, and appropriate for the moment, whether it's a wedding or just brunch. You're not chasing trends, you're curating your vibe. Dressing with care doesn't mean expensive. It means clean shoes, clothes that fit, outfits that feel like you. It's a form of nonverbal respect for the event, the people, and yourself. People notice when you put in that extra effort. It sends a subtle message. I take this seriously. I respect myself and this moment. And yeah, maybe your mom didn't let you leave the house in wrinkled shirts, but now you get it. It's not vanity. It's respect for yourself and for the people you're meeting. 6. You handle conflict calmly and maturely. We've all had that moment where someone says something ridiculous and your inner sarcasm monster wants to let loose. But if you were raised with class, you've learned not every battle is worth fighting. You breathe. You stay cool. You use phrases like, "I see where you're coming from," even if you secretly want to scream. Why? Because your goal isn't to win, it's to understand, to be heard and respectful. People with class don't need to dominate a conversation to make a point. They listen, they ask questions, and they don't take disagreement as a personal attack. It's not always easy. Sometimes it takes walking away. Sometimes it means taking a deep breath before you respond. But that calm composure, that's classy. Conflict is inevitable. Class is how you handle it. And the more calmly you navigate tension, the more powerful you appear, and the more trust you build. 7. You respect time, yours and others. You show up on time. You reply when you say you will. You don't ghost and you don't leave people hanging. That's not just manners, that's values. It says, "I see you, I respect your time, and I'm not here to waste either of ours." You also protect your time. You're not afraid to say no to stuff that drains you. That balance, that's maturity, that's class. Time is one of the most valuable things we have. The way you treat it, yours and others, says a lot about how you were raised. And you know what else? Being on time builds trust. It tells people you're reliable, consistent, and considerate. That's huge, whether in friendships, at work, or even on a first date. Want a quick win? Start by being 5 minutes early. It's a small habit that leaves a lasting impression. Number 8, you lead with humility, not ego. Ever met someone who's clearly brilliant, successful, has 12 side hustles, but talks to you like you're the most interesting person in the room? Yeah, that's the vibe. When you've been raised with real class, humility is baked in. You know your worth, but you don't need to shout it. You lift others. You ask questions. You're curious, not condescending. That's leadership. That's elegance. That's legacy energy. Leading with humility means you're not too proud to admit when you're wrong. You don't hog credit, and you don't make others feel small to seem bigger. You know that true influence comes from service, not ego. And here's the kicker. People remember that. Not your resume, but how you made them feel. Stay grounded. Stay generous. That's the kind of energy that opens doors and keeps them open. So maybe you saw yourself in some of these signs, maybe in all of them, or maybe you've got 1 or 2 to work on. Hey, same here. The cool part? Class isn't about status. It's about intention. Small habits, done consistently, shape the way you move through the world and how the world moves around you. Try one of these this week. Pick the one that feels the most like a challenge. Practice it. Watch what happens. And if this kind of content speaks to you, feel free to give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. We're building a community of people who care deeply, laugh often, and are doing their best to show up with grace and style. See you in the next one, darling.